you, sir. Thank you. Have a good rest of the day. Thank you.
So I take this as an opportunity to invite Mr. Nital Zaveri. Again, wonderful program. I want to make sure that I don't miss even 1 minute for this. The topic is Smart Industries Readiness Index, Framework for Digital Transformation. I hear about this topic a lot, so I would like to hear from you directly, Nitalji. So that is something which will be so happy afternoon for us. Okay, so just let me give a quick introduction. Mr. Nital named one of the 40 new voices of quality by ASQ in Quality Progress magazine. So it's a top 40 voices. Nitalji is an expert in organizational transformation, business excellence, quality management, specialized in Six Sigma, Lean, and he give a lot of trainings and then help organizations for the business transformations and also for the operational excellence. So we would like to hear from you more. You introduce your key things, Nitalji, and then welcome to the session. So thank you very much, and over to you, please.
Thank you. So thank you, everybody. And first, thank you for inviting me to this session and giving an opportunity. Yeah, I'm currently also chairperson of American Society for Quality in India section. So quality has been my passion throughout my life. My father worked in a Japanese company, so I was influenced by the word quality. My father used to work with a company called Panasonic. So in the childhood also, we were all, the only word that we used to, listen at home also was quality. So I mean, so when I also grew up, somehow quality, attracted me, the word quality. And then around quality, there are a lot of other subjects which are, quality is now linked with quality and excellence. And when we say quality and excellence, we also have, the other concepts like excellence without digital transformation, or excellence without making your factory smart is not possible. So my topic today is on that only, that how do we most of the companies are now in the race of adopting digital transformation. They want to do the digital transformation, and they want to adopt the smart manufacturing practices, but they don't know how to check whether they are on right track or not. How do they know how are they doing with respect to other industries? So there are a lot of gaps in that space. So I'm going to cover those things in my talk. Okay, so let me just share my screen. Just let me know when it is visible.
Put your slide into a slide share.
Yeah, I will.
Share your screen, which is in the slide share mode. So you will find it directly. Yeah, it's correct.
Is it connected?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So so we this Digimax is the initiative that we have started, which is digital transformation for manufacturing excellence under the concept Business Excellence Private Limited. So I mean, the talk is going to be around how do we use the Smart Industry Readiness Index assessment. Okay, so before we start, most of the industries may have these questions today. As I told you, almost every industry is in the race. They want to do this digital transformation. Huge amount of money is being pumped into this digital transformation space. And so first thing that the industries want to know is, uh, do we know my actual industry 4.0 maturity? Like if you have industry 4.0 adoptions, how mature it is, so how do you compare your performance? Okay, so that is one question that you can have. The second question that you have is, how can you compare your performance with your peers? Okay, so for example, if you are a pharma company, how do you know whether you are doing this industry 4.0 maturity? How are you doing with respect to other pharma companies? Or if you are in oil and gas industries, you would like to know that. Or maybe if you are in the aviation industry, you would like to know how am I doing with respect to other similar manufacturing companies or other companies in general. So that's a comparison or benchmarking. There is no currently system available for benchmarking except Siri. So Siri is the only platform that gives you Industry 4.0 benchmark. So that is what we are going to also discuss in detail. The third question that most of the industries they have is how do you know? I mean, there are a lot of aspects of digital transformation and Industry 4.0. Now, I mean, it is also not wise to to it's not I mean say you do digital everywhere is also may not be useful actually. So to where to, what is the priority, which is the focus area, because there are a lot of things needs to be digitally transformed within your industry, but what should be the focus area? If you don't know the focus area, maybe you what you will do is you will start doing digital transformation at every place, and which may or may not be necessary, because not every uh, thing that you do digital transformation will bring you ROI. Okay, so which are the areas where you should focus, and so that it will give you ROI? So this is another question. So to answer all these questions, there has been a framework now which is called SIRI. SIRI stands for Smart Industry Readiness Index. So let me just ask you this question, maybe a quick poll kind of a thing. So I have given here two situations, and let's say you have to rate these two situations in terms of their digital maturity, and you have to rate it between 0 to 5. Okay. So the first situation is like this, that the inventory management system of the company can process and analyze. So you have a system where you have automatic data of inventory management system. The system can also process what is the balance raw material consumable at predefined requirements like your minimum stock levels or Kanban systems. And the IT systems and HR system and finance departments can also generate alerts and inform the relevant personnel that there is an deviation from the predefined parameters. Okay, so if there is something if I'm in a finance department, if I'm processing an invoice and if I put some wrong value in the invoice, maybe it will give me some alerts. So the system is already designed in such a manner that it can give you predefined alerts. So these are some situation, one company, and I would now request you to give the rating in 0 to 5. What do you think is the rate maturity of this company in 0 to 5? Okay, so you can give any number: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. 5 meaning the best in class, this company is the world class in terms of digital maturity. Okay, the second situation is where the production processes are managed with integrated computer based systems, as like ERP, and they also have like product lifecycle management softwares. The company also has manufacturing execution system, MES. They also have warehouse management system, and humans predominantly manage the exchange of data and information across the different functions. Okay, so this is the situation. So they have ERP, they have PLM, they have MES, they have also WMS, and less intervention. Human intervention is still there, but only to manage the exchange of the data and information across different functions. So in both these situations, what would be your take? How would you rate it? Situation number one, situation number two. What is your idea of what rating would you give them? 0 to 5. Can we just do some quick exercise? You can use the chat box and let me know.
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, so I'm saying I just showed these two these situations. So for this first situation, in terms of their digital maturity, what
Mhm.
rating would you give them? 0 to 5. 5 means they are world class. 0 means they are at a very basic level or below basic, in terms of digital maturity. So for situation number one, what is the rating? For situation number two, what is the rating? We can use the chat box
Yeah.
and
Okay. It's a little tricky, but
yeah.
yeah, that's the reason you're asking. I know. I think the first thing is I give a good score because you have a alert mechanism. But if you are using the second one, so you are covering all the processes. But only thing is it must be integrated. So that is a very important thing. It's not about the number, the systems. It's about the purpose.
Yeah.
So is it solving your business problems kind of thing? Yeah.
Okay.
Guys, can you anyone participants can answer it? Maybe Nitalji give some hint.
Yeah. If any other participant wants to share, please, you're welcome. I have some answers in the chat box, maybe. Okay. No. Okay. So let me just, tell you about this. So the situation here is, what we call as, let me just share once again. Let me share again.
You're sharing something?
Yeah, I'm just sharing my screen. Okay, so in this situation, the case number first, out of 0 to 5, see, this is what. Now, if we ask this kind of situation to different people in the same organization, they may give different ratings because they may not have idea about how to rate this particular situation. So what we are saying is that, you should have a common mechanism where everybody is on the same page. When everybody reads this situation, they will all give a same rating. Okay, how can we do that? We can do that only when we have some standards, we have some kind of framework. So the answer to this question, the situation first out of 0 to 5 as per the Siri assessment guidelines, is this is at we the E is the module which we call it enterprise digital transformation, and the level is 2, which means that out of 0 to 5 this is at a 2 level. And if we look at the second situation, out of 0 to 5 it is still at a 3 level. It is called vertical integration phase, and in the vertical integration phase still it is at 3 level. So the point which I was driving was this, that everybody can give rate this situation in a different way, but then there has to be a common understanding. There has to be a common understanding in terms of the digital maturity of any organization, and that common understanding will help you to decide your current levels and to also decide where you should go in future. So this is a common platform. This is a common language. It's a universal language for digital transformation, and that can happen with Siri framework. Now, if you see how the Siri framework was developed, because there is a lot of industry 4.0 concept when it was originated in Geneva in Switzerland. So there are associations who are, like they are uh, German industry associations who have developed this industry 4.0 body of knowledge. And there are a lot of other associations. So this you can see here that all the associations, they came together and they participated in designing this framework called Siri. Then there are technology providers, like in the digital space, there are leading technology providers like Siemens, Honeywell, Emerson, Rockwell, Festo. So these are all the technology providers who also contributed to creating this entire framework. And there are consulting companies, large, big consulting companies like Accenture, McKinsey, and BCG. So they also participated in this entire study. And there are other research institutes like Spring Singapore and Singapore Development Board, and there are manufacturers, for example, this Dyson and Rolls-Royce, Infineon, and all these companies, and there are many other companies. More than 5,000 companies initially participated in this, designing a common framework across the globe for digital transformation or Industry 4.0. This entire project was led by World Economic Forum, and that World Economic Forum is also responsible for this digital lighthouse project. So WEF, that is World Economic Forum, made sure that all these agencies, they come together and they design one common guideline for industry, this digital transformation. So World Economic Forum was the main organization behind this entire system. So let me so digital transformation is now globally, we all know that. Just for you, some statistics, that 60%, 64% of the companies are still at the early stage of digital transformation. When this is a survey done by SESME in 2022, and also PwC in 2022. Latest numbers may have changed, but not much. And 66% companies said that the cost leadership, efficiency, resilience, flexibility are the key reasons for digital transformation. So why they are doing digital transformation? And 75% companies responded that smart technologies would increase their company's competitiveness. And so this is, and if you see overall spend on digital transformation now, it is close to 1.8% of the net revenue. So which is a huge, if you see all these large companies, I mean 1.8 percentage is almost equivalent to their R&D budget, or in India at least, actually. So it's a huge amount of money is being pumped into digital transformation initiatives. Now with this fact, actually, how do you spend money without understanding your current situation? So World Economic Forum, which is running this digital lighthouse project, has started creating some global benchmarks. So lighthouse project means that any company who is very good in digital transformation or Industry 4.0, this is declared as a lighthouse by the World Economic Forum. And these lighthouses are basically the companies who will give the direction to other companies to adopt the digital technologies. So there are, I think, 140 odd companies currently in the globe who are which are digital lighthouse, declared as digital lighthouse. If I am not wrong, there are 10 companies in India who are declared as a digital lighthouse companies. Okay, so all these companies, they have done the survey after, once they have means these are the high end companies in terms of digital maturity, and what they achieved in terms of sustainability, in terms of productivity, in terms of agility, and in terms of speed to market. So if you see, this is the result which is published by World Economic Forum. It is in the public domain, and this is the result says that the companies who have adopted these digital technologies, they were able to uh, improve the waste reduction, maybe solid waste or liquid waste, minimum 4%, maximum up to 80% also. Then water consumption. So water consumption reduced by from 5% to 7%. Energy efficiency, I mean 0 to 100% in some companies. Similarly, if you see all the parameters like factory output increase, productivity increase, overall equipment effectiveness, uh, product cost reduction, operating cost reduction, quality cost reduction, everywhere there is a significant improvement or cost reduction. Even in inventory, lead time reduction, very important, changeover time reduction, on time delivery, and speed to market and design time reduction. So everywhere you can see there has been a significant improvement in terms of benefits of adopting to the digital transformation methodologies. Now, when there was a survey done by McKinsey, in the McKinsey survey, it was found that 1/3 of the companies uh, um, will go for digital transformation PwC survey says that still, so that means a lot of companies want to do this digital transformation, but the survey of PwC says that there is a lack of clear vision, strategy, and basically a systematic roadmap is not available. That is the biggest challenge in the digital transformation. So how do you create a roadmap for the digital transformation? So World Economic Forum came out with this idea called SIRI, and SIRI framework can be used by any company which is starting the digital transformation journey, or if they are scaling up, they have already done some digital transformation and they want to scale it up, or if they are already at a very high end curve and they are already ahead of the curve, and they are in the top quartile and they want to sustain their digital transformation initiatives. So for all these three kind of companies, they can use the digital this Siri framework. Okay. So the idea of Siri framework is this: you can't improve if you can't measure. Okay, so if you want to do digital transformation, first thing you should know is where do you stand in currently. Okay, you can it is immature to just do digital transformation in bits and pieces. This year we will do somewhere in supply chain, to next year we will do something in vertical integration, IT/OT integration, like that. You first know, before you start everything, you first know where do you stand in terms of digital maturity, what is your current digital maturity as level. Okay, and then you start. That will be the best situation. It is like when you go to the doctor and you are getting diagnosed by the doctor about what is the root cause. Okay, so if the doctor starts giving you the medicines without diagnosis, you can end up in trouble actually. And so now the technology is available, so you also usually prefer to get diagnosed first and then only get the remedy or the solutions recommended. So the Siri assessment, that is Smart Industry Readiness Index, it gives you four important information. First information it gives you is where are you today with respect to your with respect to your own performance. So are you at 0, are you at 2, or where are you 0, where are you 2 or 5, whatever it may be, your score. Then it gives you about, in terms of digital maturity, it tells you how are you doing. This is the most important piece of information. How are you doing with respect to your best and worst industries? So this is a very good information. So Siri is the only agency who can give you in the world a benchmarking report, and it can give you a comparison of the best versus worst company. So if your score is, for example, let's say overall score, I would say, is 2.3 or so, for example, then the Siri will be able to tell you that your competition, the best companies are, or maybe not even similar companies, but any companies, that their best companies are at 4 and the worst companies are at 1.2 and you are at 2.3. So this piece of information is also very useful. The second useful piece of information is how are you doing with respect to similar industries. So one is all industries put together. So this comparison is all industries. Okay, and this, in this comparison now we are talking about, is with respect to specific industry. So if you are a pharma, we tell you how are you doing with respect to other pharma companies. So industry to industry comparison. So that is also very useful because you know that many other pharma companies or other companies are at this level, but you are at this level. The fourth important piece of information you get is where shall we focus. So if you want to start your digital transformation journey, what is your priority? What is it that you should first do before doing anything else? Okay, or what are the first four important aspects that you should consider? Okay, so that's the another piece of information. So all these four pieces of information for digital starting your digital transformation journey or scaling your digital transformation journey, these are all very important information. So the Siri recommends you adopts four stage methodology. So this is frame. Four stages are: first you learn about digital transformation, so learning the key concepts and building a common language for alignment. That is the first step that you should do. So in your company, people should know about what are what does it mean by, let's say, a simple word like real time? We are all talking about real time data, but what is the meaning of real time data? Is it 1 second or 5 seconds or milliseconds? So I mean, what is it that is considered as a real time? Because the word real time also may have some other differences actually, and person to person it can change. So we want to have a common language first of all. So that's the first step that you should have. The second step is to evaluate. You use this Siri assessment and evaluate your current industry maturity levels. Okay. The third thing you should do is architect, which is you design your, based on the assessment report, then you design a specific plan. It is exactly like what your doctor is doing. You are first diagnosed, then the doctor will create a treatment plan. So architect is like creating a treatment plan for you, a specific customized treatment plan. It's very specific to your own industry. Okay, so that digital transformation strategy and implementation roadmap. And the fourth phase is deliver. So deliver means once you have the system in place, just looking at digital data is of no use. I always say that just because you wear a smartwatch, you don't become fit. You know, just wearing a smartwatch will not help you. So you also have to take some actions. So once you have digital systems in place, what needs to be done further? So maybe you have to analyze the data and get leverage on that, improve your system and processes accordingly. And it's a journey, so you keep on improving once you have the basic system in place. So digital is just an enabler. It's not that digital will do the magic, but digital will help you improve faster. That's all it can do, right? So let me just now take you through the Siri Smart Industry Readiness Index. So it is like the four abbreviations: SIRI, which stands for Smart Industry Readiness Index, and this is the framework. This is the framework for digital this maturity assessment. So there are three components. The first is building blocks. The second component is pillars, and the third component is dimensions. Okay, and in the three building blocks, we have three building blocks. First is process. Okay, and all these building blocks are important. So you should have good processes. The second is about technology, and the third is about organization. These are the three building blocks. Now, digital transformation to many companies is only technology. I mean, this is wrong. Only technology is just one part of the digital transformation. Okay, you should also have the processes in place, and you should also have a proper organization of the processes. Technology is just one part of the digital transformation. Okay, and when we go into the details of then this process block can be further divided into three parts, which is called pillars. Okay, so the first pillar is called process itself. Okay, the second pillar is called supply chain, very important pillar, and the third is product life cycle management, product life cycle. Now below the pillars we go, there is something called dimensions. Okay, so there is a dimension which is called here, it is called vertical integration. Okay, so now what is vertical integration means? So vertical integration means within your company, within your own organization, you have various systems. Okay, for example, you have IT system, which is like ERP system. Okay, you have warehouse management system, you have laboratory management system, you have building management system, you have HRMS, human resource management system, and you have the equipments, which are basically uh, the machines, utilities that you have. for manufacturing. So the manufacturing machines, equipments, utilities, they are usually not talking to the ERP system. There is no way you can. I mean, there are ways now, but in a traditional company, they are two disconnected things. So the IT system and what we call is at OT system, that is operation technology. So this is basically talking about IT OT integration. So there is IT and there is OT. So here we are talking about how your IT and OT is integrated with each other. Do you have MES, like manufacturing execution system, where the data of the machine and equipment, like say for example, what is the OE of my equipment, is this data automatically getting captured and going into your IT system? Yes or no? So that is the question. Okay. Is it that your utility and other systems, building management systems, how are they integrated with your IT system and production system? So that is the first piece of thing that we check, whether the IT and OT is integrated or not. And also the other systems which are like WMS, LIMS, warehouse management system, building management systems, and ERP. The problem today is that most of these systems are standalone, they don't talk to each other. And how do you make them talk to each other? How do you integrate them? So that is very important. So this is what we check, and to check this dimension, we will have a score. So we will check this, vertical integration, and we can give you a rating, maybe 0 to 5. Okay, and when we give 0, when we give 5, there is a guideline, which like I'm a certified Siri assessor, so I can tell you in vertical integration where do you stand. Okay, and then uh, once you understand this, then we can discuss how to improve this also. Okay. The second is horizontal integration. So horizontal integration is nothing but how you are integrating your supply chains, both inbound, outbound supply chains. What kind of system do you have to integrate? How are you communicating to your suppliers, for example? Are you still sending emails or some automatic mails to the suppliers? Do you know the status of the suppliers material, or your material visibility you into your system? Okay, is it connected with each other? Okay, your IT system with respect to your suppliers visibility, the shipment visibility or anything else. So for example, many companies now, they have this supply chain control tower system where they are able to see on a screen what is the status of the supply. Okay, so these supply chain control towers are like air traffic control towers, where your team is able to see what is the traffic actually. Okay, so like different planes are coming and by when they are going to come. Similarly, your supply chain department should also have a visibility about what is happening to the entire supply chain and how to make the corrections in the real time basis. If you know that particular supply is going to get late, how the same information can be quickly transmitted to your production planning and other places. How do you communicate to your customers in that case, and on a real time basis, and so these are some of the concepts which you can implement. So this is basically talking about horizontal integration, means all your integration IT, your IT systems integration with your suppliers visibility, and also your customers. So you have dealers, you have other supply chain, outbound supply chain network, how that is connected. Okay, so how their customer information is also coming. How do you know, for example, if you have dealers, or you are a let's say one of our client is a tile manufacturing company, they have many dealers and they don't have any. How do you have a visibility of the stocks? How do they have visibility of the demand actually? Okay, not only the stock, but the inquiries that is coming to the customer's place, their dealer's place, and how do you then on real time basis use that particular piece of information, that how many, what are customers inquiring most about, and how do we then in a real time we can integrate this with the production planning system and with my inbound supply chain, and ensure that my customer is served properly. So that is what is horizontal integration all about. Then product life cycle integrated product life cycle is you introduce a new product. Okay, so right from introducing a new product till uh, the end of the use of the product, so till the product is going into the market, till you discontinue the product, how do you manage the transactions? Are you still using a paper based system or excel based systems or fragmented systems, or do you have an integrated product life cycle management system, digitally available, where you can immediately know what is the status of the, let's say you have some changes, okay, engineering changes or some other changes in your product, how the other things like your bill of material and your other systems are automatically corrected, so that you don't lose the money. Okay, so how you are managing the entire product life cycle is very important, and this also has to be digital. In product life cycle now there is also concept of digital twin, where okay, so in digital twin means how do you use the digital twin technologies for developing new products. Okay, so these are some of the concepts. So we check the maturity at this level also. Then we come to this next block, which is technology. So under technology we have three pillars. We have automation, connectivity and intelligence. So this is now technical. So we check automation, what is the level of automation. So if you have repeated task, how do you automate it on the shop floor? Then we also check automation at enterprise level. That means when I say enterprise means at the office level or transactional processes. Okay, and then how do you do the automation in your facility, that is utilities. Okay, you can consider facilities as utilities. So this is what we check about automation. Then we also check about connectivity, because things have to be connected, right? In earlier days we used to connect it with wires and cables and stuff like that. Now we have Wi-Fi, GSM, other lot of other technologies are available. So how do we connect our systems? What is the level of connectivity that we have? Is the connectivity that you have provided on the shop floor, at the enterprise level, at the facility level, is it scalable? I mean, tomorrow if you have to scale it up, is it scalable or not? So we check the connectivity at shop floor, we check the connectivity at enterprise level, and we also check the connectivity at a utility level. Okay, the third thing we check is intelligence. Once you have connectivity, then and the data is coming real time basis, then you have a lot of data, then how are you making use of this data? So how do you bring the intelligence at the soft floor? How do you use the bring intelligence, that is AI and ML kind of a things, for predictive analysis at the enterprise level? And how do you use the intelligence and predictive analysis for the facility level? So this is the step: first automation, then connectivity, and then intelligence. Okay, so if you add all these three, all this together, these are all I would say nine blocks. So this is the fourth block, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there are 12. So total 12, 9 blocks here in this particular technology pillar. Then we come to organization. Now, organization is basically we have two pillars. One is talent readiness, and the second is structure and management. So for your digital transformation to succeed, you have to have both of these. So talent readiness is how do you provide the training and development to your workforce on digital transformation, because your system processes will change after the digital. You have to make your employees equipped with the new system, new technology. Like earlier they were not used to with the RFID tags. Now they have to deal with the RFID tags and the data is going into the system. Earlier they were not using for example some uh, let's say the robots or some cobots or robots, but now they are using the cobots and robots. So how they have to deal with that actually? So your employees also have to understand the new ways of working, and how are you developing the human resource for digital transformation is also very important. And also your leaders competency. So is your lead are your leaders, they know about what is digital technology, because if your leaders, top management is not aware of this, then there is a problem to which you can scale it up. Okay, so how the leaders are involved, they are actually knowing about the new digital technologies. Because if they want to create a competitive advantage, they must know about digital technologies. So that is what we check here. And then lastly, we check about the structure and management. So here we talk about intra company collaboration. So intra company collaboration is basically any company in the world, if they want to do digital transformation, they need internally within the organization, they need a cross functional team to drive this. Digital transformation is not possible alone by IT department. Digital transformation is not possible alone by operational excellence department or function, and not by operation function alone. So all the different functions have to come together to have a proper digital transformation. So intra company inter collaboration, inter company means within the company you have different groups. How these different groups are aligned with each other, what kind of collaboration mechanism they have, what is their maturity, is has to be checked. And intra company means yeah, your company with respect with other suppliers, other vendors, and other organization, other sites. Digital transformation again would require, any organization would require, not only depending on one supplier for providing the technology and services, but they will have to depend on many suppliers for providing the technology and services. So for example, you have a WMS system which is from one supplier, you have a laboratory management system from another supplier, but then how your company, your teams are discussing with those teams, what kind of collaborations you have for improving your digital maturity. Okay, what kind of communication systems you have. So that is what we check here. Lastly, we check about the governance and strategy. So whether you have created the digital transformation roadmap, what is your 3 years, 5 years horizon, where do you want to reach, and what is your systematic plan for reaching to that level. Okay, so these are all the 16 dimensions of digital transformation. So you see here, this starts from 1 and this is up to 16. Okay, so these are all 16 dimensions, and in the series we give the rating on each of these dimensions on 0 to 5 scale, and there is we are trained on how to give this. Okay, we can also maybe discuss and explain you how to rate this, so it's a joint assessment by us and your team. Okay, okay, so let me just quickly go to the main points. Yeah. So last is this is about prioritization. Okay, so the first thing is assessment. Once you do the assessment, we know what is your current score. Okay, so what is your today's state. Okay, so that we know. So today's state is called T. So this is the assessment uh, score that we have. Let's say you are in vertical integration, you are 1, or horizontal integration, you are 1, or something like that. So that is your current score. Then I stands for your this cost profile. So these are all important indicators. So what is your cost profile in your organization? Which are the cost drivers? So we understand the cost drivers, and then we plug this into the formula. And then E stands for your essential performance metrics. So these are basically what are the KPIs that you give importance to for your kind of industry, which KPI is important. Okay, so we have around 14-15 KPIs. We give this list to the companies, and they have to select from these 14-15 KPIs which are the top 3 or 4 KPIs that they want to focus. Okay, it can be like time to market, or it can be like or increasing the asset utilization, or increasing the material efficiency, or increasing the labor productivity, anything like that. Okay, so those KPIs are important. And then we see the relative position. So relative position is your how are you doing with respect to the other in the similar this thing. So we benchmark and we identify. So when we put this tier framework into the and there is a formula. So based on this, all this input to put together, what is your current matrix score, what is your cost profile, what indicate KPIs are important for you, and where do you stand with respect to other companies. When we put all this information in a software or in a formula, I would say it will give you a focus area. So for example, you have all these 16 dimensions, but you may not need, you need to focus only on, for example, vertical integration, or you need to focus more on leadership competency development, or you should develop more on enterprise related connectivity. So these are the, or and let's say software level automation, for example. So these are the four important dimensions for you which will come out of this formula. Okay, so we'll put this in formula and it will come out. Then you also get a official Siri assessment report. Okay, this comes from World Economic Forum, and there is an institute called INSIT, International Institute for Industry Transformation in Singapore. So they we as an assessor, like if I have to use the assessment, I will have to go to their portal and create the report for you. And when we go into their portal, there is also benchmarking possible. So we will give you your current state, we will give you your benchmark, and we will also give you your prioritized area for improvement. All these three things. The report looks something like this, So there are different industry segments which are already covered in Siri, where the benchmarking report is already available. So all these 16 industry segments, 14 industry groups, the benchmarking is available. So you can know, like there is a pharma, there is a electronics, there is automotive, there is aerospace. So for all these companies, if you want to know which is the best, which is the, I mean, you will not get the best company's name, but you will know where do you stand with respect to best versus worst companies in your segment. Okay, so that is possible. Yeah, and this is the report. It comes something like this. So these are all the 16 dimensions. So here it is 1 and here it is 16, if you see. And all the 16 dimension, you will know where are the like best companies or SMEs, where are the MNC companies. Okay, when we get the report, you also know this 3B report like this, where we tell you, okay, where is your score and who are the best worst performer, who are the best performance, and best performers in vertical integration, for example, at this level. And these are the broad middle categories. Against this, we will also tell you your position. Okay, so your position means your company's position. And this is a certificate like this you can get once you are certified on you complete the Siri assessment. You will get this kind of certificate from INSIT. Okay, and yeah, so there are some case studies which this is this paper and first company in Germany. So they used the Siri assessment in 2018, and their vertical integration score was only 1, horizontal was also 1. And so they used this entire report, and then they did again the Siri assessment in 2021, and they could improve in most of the areas. Okay, and they had a plan. So their strategy of digital transformation was completely aligned with these numbers, and they said, yes, we want to reach to this level by 2021. And as a result of this, the lot of improvements have happened. So workflows from 10 to 6 and increase the production. So number of workflows have reduced. The production efficiency is increased by 5 to 10 percentage. And there are a lot of other supply chain networking tools they have implemented, like AM3 scheduling, Workbench, then O9 digital brain, and all these things. Yeah, there are other case studies also published. This is a hair case study in China. So I will not go into that detail. Yeah, but now if you see the 2019, now the new report will come. These are the top 5 companies in digital transformation as per the Siri, that is Smart Industry Readiness Index. Semiconductor was number 1, pharmaceutical was 2nd, electronics was 3rd, energy and chemical was 4th, medical was 5th. In 2022, semiconductor remained the same, but second position was obtained by electronics, third position was pharma, fourth position was energy, and instead of medical technology, now logistics is taking over the adoption of digital maturity. So the top matured companies are now in this are from this segments, okay, semiconductor, electronics, pharmaceutical, energy, and logistics. And now they will also publish, I think, 2024 report also. Every 2-3 years they publish the report like this. Okay, so I think this is the last slide, which and then we can have a question and answer. So the index will provide a base foundation to build the knowledge, and also it will have a provide, most important thing is it provides a common language. So there is a lot of confusion on digital transformation. This framework will give you a common framework for different stakeholders, so everybody is talking the same language, and you can properly align with all the stakeholders and improve your digital transformation journey or roadmap. Okay, so these are some feedback or voice of the customers. The Siri assessment framework was when it was designed. It was designed by initial experiment. There were 5,000 companies. Today, Siri assessment is adopted by more than 70 countries. There are some countries who have considered the Siri assessment as a national standard for digital transformation. So, like many companies in the Middle East, they have already considered this as a national standard or national priority, that all the manufacturing companies must do digital transform Siri assessment, give the report to the government, and tell them about how they are going to improve. And based on that, the government will give them some subsidy or some grant or something like that. Okay, so I will just end my presentation with this. Smart manufacturing is just not a technology upgrade, but it's a revolution that transforms production into dynamic, interconnected ecosystem, efficiency, insight, and unparalleled potential. So thank you very much. That's all from my side. I am open to question and answers.
Thank you, Nitalji. Thank you very much. Very insightful. So I would like to know more about the Siri information. So how can we get more information on Siri? Is there any article or a book or any website? You already said that it is in World Economic Forum pages.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is something which we would like to understand more. That is
Yeah.
fantastic.
So
Yeah. Mhm.
yeah. So the lot of information is available in public domain from INCIT, INCIT. I can share right down in the chat box. So on INCIT website, you can approach. You can also approach, go to World Economic Forum, and you will find a lot of white papers and things like that. If you see, and Siri now in India, for example, I'm just because I'm in India, so I can tell about India at least. That in India also we are planning with CII to come for small and medium enterprises. We are discussing with the government to consider this as a kind of a framework for small and medium enterprises to upgrade their technology and systems and all that, because large companies, they have already they can afford large consultants also. They can, because most of the consultants like McKinsey, PwC, they're good, but they are not affordable by every small and medium enterprises. So we are planning that also. So on CII platform also soon there will be some information available.
Fantastic. So that is great, great news. So this all in this INSIT. So we get all these questions and how to what is a scoring mechanism, how to define. So let us see that. Let us see that. Okay. So
Yeah.
it's very interesting. And one more question, Nitalji, is see the digital transformation. Yeah, first part is assessment. That is fun, perfectly good. The second part is how much digital transformation is required. Okay, for your organization based on your strategy. Okay, that is very important because it is not that you are less digital transformed or you are more digital transformed. Yeah, it all depends on what is it required for you and where are the areas where you need to digitize mandatory, what are the optional. Okay, So this will tell, this is actually driven by the strategy. Okay, so at the moment you have, you know what is mandatory required, then what is optional. So you can give pay attention to the mandatory thing. And then nice to have things, you can do it as it is required, or in the phase 2 or phase 3, whatever. So I think this is one important thing where we have to identify the requirements. And then you do the execute. You execute the digital transformation.
Correct.
Okay.
Perfect. Yeah, I think that's very important. Yeah.
Question here is in Indian segment, since you are talking about you are taking care of ASQ in India part of. So many organizations, especially manufacturing guys, especially mid-sized smaller organizations, they still consider a digitization as an expense. Okay, so I have at least talked to 400, 500 companies recently, when last 2, 3 years. Okay, so they still consider the implementation of ERP or implementation of MES, warehouse management. Still, they consider this as an expense. They don't consider this as an asset. So they, honestly speaking, they talk about a simple accounting software like Zoho Books or a Tally or something. So they compare that, okay, the investment what they are making there to the ERP or MES, WMS requirements. So we say I'm spending X amount in this, very minimal for accounting software. Now, why we need to spend this much for this? So, what do you think? Like, if you have a mindset of expense for digitization, how do you achieve this digital transformation requirements? So what is your understanding of the industry dynamics, and what is your recommendation for all the organizations for next 1 year, 2 years, 3 years?
Yeah.
Nitalji.
Yeah, I think this is, I mean, the same situation with, what we have also seen, exactly the same feedback, I would say. The way to this is, how do we break this, because digital transformation in India, when you talk to the manufacturers, small and medium enterprises, it is like they want to listen to it, they excite them, they will call you for meeting, but nothing happens, after that. So I mean, it attracts them, but still they
Yeah,
are not ready for the making the investment or taking the final decision. The thing is, because one, I would say, is that there is a lot of confusion in terms of there are a lot of suppliers, a lot of people, a lot of tech, hardware, software providers are approaching the industries, and that is why we are saying you first go for assessment and identify the prioritized area. There is also another method we have developed, which is called lean digital gamba assessment. So what we are doing is we are combining the lean and digital together, and we are also, what we are doing is we go to the shop, their industries, and we do the complete assessment, and we tell them, okay, looking to your business, what is the key important thing, here, for example. So let's say it's a chemical industry, so they say, okay, yield is very important for us, for something like that, or something like that. So we identify what is uh, the most critical, top 3 critical areas for them, and then we can create, give them a kind of a, we have to, tell them that, okay, here if it is reduced, let's say you have X number of yield, and let's say if yield improves by this, what is the money that you save, that they will be able to understand. And there they should start with a pilot, and once they are successful, they see this, that benefit, they are able to realize that ROI, then their I think decision making will be, it will be very fast actually. So first pilot should be done only on, I would say, only and only at the very core or very critical areas of the business, and just a small pilot which will just yield them or make them realize that, oh, this is the potential of the digital. And once they do that, then I think they will definitely be convinced, and they will start investing in this actually.
yeah. One more point is just to add point is when we talk about the digital transformations, as you rightly said in the beginning of the session, it's not only about the software, it's about the processes, and it's about the people, and also it's about the leadership capability
Yeah.
to do the necessary changes. So
Yes.
Nitalji, what I notice is people are ready to do some investments, but if you don't have a right team to do that job, okay, if they are digital literacy employees in the operations or in the management level, then it will become a problem also. So that is
Yes.
also one of the reason I have seen in my
Yes.
interaction with many manufacturing guys. So they don't have right people to operate it.
Yes.
We did
Yes.
our ERP, MES, WMS in multiple clients. So the one
Mm.
of the challenges they have to consider this as an investment, even for
Mm.
the people, even for the people. So they need
Correct.
to have some decent number of good people, so they can take the whole organizations towards the success.
Correct. I absolutely agree. Absolutely.
Perfect, sir. Yeah.
Thank you.
So So what is your key recommendations for next 2025? This is a question I'm asking. Okay, so what is your advice, Nitalji, for next
I would
year?
say, yeah, there's a good. So I would, definitely recommend first thing, even before assessment, also like what you are doing now currently, also is very good thing. You are making educating industries on various aspects of digital and supply chain. I mean, I would, my first advice would be to at least understand and listen to come to this kind of platforms. All the industry owners should come to this kind of seminars and webinars. Whether they apply or not, it's a different issue. Let them come to this. So awareness is the first thing, even before the assessment. So my advice to everybody would be to first understand about all this terminologies and what it can deliver, and attend the seminars like what you are organizing. It's a wonderful thing that you are doing. That is the first step, I would say. And also look for so digital is it's a double-edged sword. If you do too early also, it's a problem. If you do too slow also, it's a problem. So I mean, don't get procrastinated by, okay, we will see and we will do it. At right time you have to take a right call, but at the same time you should not delay also. So the both the things are very, I mean, they have to find a balance between these two. Not to do something in very hurry also, that okay, I will be like fear of missing out. If I don't do this, my competitors will do this or catch up or something like that. And at the same time, not too late also. When you realize that you have to do this, you are already too late. Actually, it should not also happen, okay, to remain the competitive. So I think manufacturers and industry owners should look for this. They have to always strike the balance between these two. That would be my advice.
Perfect. So I think with that, I take an opportunity to thank you, Nitalji.
Thank
It's a
you.
wonderful lecture. It's really exciting.
Thank
So
you.
theory framework, I think this is something which we noted down. Okay, so we have just maybe it's a coincidence. We have an assessment tool in our in our software and
Okay.
tool strategy. So this is a custom made assessment. So you can
Mm-hmm.
have any framework fit into that, like organizational health index, strategy
Okay.
progress organization. So it's open. So once you have your questions and answers and scoring mechanism, you can do it. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
maybe we can try to do that.
Yeah,
See
yeah.
the assessment.
We can also explore that. Good idea.
We'll discuss more
Yeah,
on how
sure,
to
sure, sir.
how to do it. And so fantastic lecture.
Thank you,
Great
sir.
to know that your father worked in Panasonic. That is one of the great company. So
Thank you.
thank you for bringing quality to the supply chain guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.